Alright, my name is Shelby, and for my project I had Diana Al-Hadid, and the artwork that I chose was a sculpture of hers entitled Nolly's Order. Nolly's Order was made in 2012, and it is a 264 by 228 by 112 inch sculpture. The medias used in it were steel, wood, paint, foam, fiberglass, and polymer gypsum. It is a 3D sculpture that its composition is mostly horizontal. Yes, it's a very tall sculpture, but it is a lot more wider than it is taller. And some visual elements that I found in my opinion, was a natural pattern. If you look at the picture in the natural pattern, I see water running. Even though it's a sculpture, I see that, it's kind of representing like water running down some rocks or some stones. And the colors in it are very realistic to what you would see out in a forest where you would be walking and actually see like a little waterfall or a stream. Another visual element I saw was overlapping. There are human-like figures in the sculpture that don't have like a head. They don't have a head because they're stuffed underneath these rocks or stones. And then a lot of stones overlap each other and the bodies overlap each other. And I also saw natural shape. Natural shape became when you see the bodies. Even though you can't see a head, you can still infer that it's a human body. You can see the top of their body and their legs and their feet. You can see their arms, even though it's really not showing hands or anything. You can still see half of their arm stretched out or half of it like being in the stones, like the head is. And the style of this sculpture is still life to me, because including all of the human-like figures and the water kind of running down it, and I think it really represents something that maybe she saw while she was out exploring the forest, or just on a regular day just walked by and saw a really nice pretty waterfall and just thought that she would make something as beautiful as that, in adding her own little touches and tweaks to it, like the human bodies. I'm pretty sure she didn't see those, but she added them in there to make it more interesting to look at. Because if you look at the sculpture, or if you're even walking by it, you're gonna take a second look. You're gonna turn around and be like, what is that? But with its big size and everything, you're gonna look at it anyways. Also, the principal design of the piece is a focal point. It makes you look, like it makes you take a second look. It makes you look at one part, the whole middle, and then you'll search around the whole sculpture. So the body sticking out of it, I think, captures your eye, and that's why I thought it was a focal point, because all the bodies sitting around it, all the human-like figures, let's not say bodies, sitting around it makes you look at it, makes you look really good into it, and makes you focus on, the whole sculpture and certain little parts of the sculpture where you can't see little things unless you look really good at it. And I think that through this piece, she was trying to show that, even though our world has negativities in it or whatever, there's still beautiful bits and pieces of the world that we need to appreciate. We need to look at in depth. We need to stop and take a look at them. Like, just be grateful for what we have. And I chose this one because it really made me stop and, look at it and think, like, what is she trying to say? What is she doing with this? I mean, it's just a big old sculpture. What is she doing? And looking more in depth to it and looking at it longer than, what I've had to do, it's really just a beautiful piece that she's just trying to voice her opinion about the gravity, mass, how she wants to make things seem that are impossible seem possible. Like making this huge sculpture, people wouldn't think that it's really could make a big sculpture like this and it be as beautiful as this one is. But that's all I have for Diana Ali.